accepted.
Radio Jangalo, restoring everything in Christ with love and truth. Good afternoon. With the main news, I'm Patrick Mopeta. The headlines. Father Edwin Mulandu appointed as Bishop of Mpika Diocese. Multiplicity of unions worry Betus. Alexander Chiteme hand over a 1x3 classroom block. Kindly be informed that we are also streaming live on the Radio Jangalo Facebook page. Pope Francis has appointed Father Edwin Mulandu of Undola Diocese as Bishop of Mpika Diocese. In a statement, Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops, ZCCB Communications Secretary, Father Winfield Kunda has since wished the faithful in Mpika all the best as they receive their new shepherd. Father Mulandu was ordained priest for the Diocese of Undola on 4th August 2001. He also served in several parishes in Undola Diocese as cathedral administrator. He also served in several parishes in Undola Diocese, also as a cathedral administrator, parish priest at St. Michael in Kalulushi and St. Peter and Paul in Kitwe. Father Mulandu also served as diocesan financial administrator and has been working currently as the national director for Pontifical Mission Societies. Residents of Ward 1 in Wansha's Misaka area are appealing for improved access of water and good roads. Some residents interviewed by Radio Jangalo News in Ward 1, Baluba area, said water blues is common in their locality. Others called for the construction of a hospital in Ward 1, saying they travel long distances to access health services.
So kwati aveka shwakuno ku Misaka Baluba bemfa kwaninshi then misebo nashona ikeshinse
jabishuka kusana benshi munomanyiza kulabota but njatwa mulu kusuba muja menshi tatukwata na mutuma abantu bana mawo bekimanda bashutukwa na menshi
yamenshi twali pata problem sana kuno nemisebo elo ne school ila Baluba nchende yalitepa tulefu akanuka Misaka ka watu wanu kaikwatire isukulu ya kutampa grade 1 to grade 7
wakuma hospital wena batubikire chipatale ekikulu tukwata makliniki tetukeni namba watu palamike Thompson bambitete bakwanisha tatukwanisha yu ukukwata transport wa Thompson wakutuma ku Thompson.
And Wansha Member of Parliament Stephen Chungu said he was aware of the challenges residents of Ward 1 face in relation to water. Mr. Chungu has told Radio Jangalo News in Wansha that there was need to put up at least 4 communal boreholes in Ward 1 to reduce water shortages.
Paliensto tukwete yake mpimba mapo kwala sana panchi kabiri munche ndo mwigi tamwa bamalaiti nokatwa yabika malaiti kama twabika na matani kubalo bakulefai kenche ndeshi 4 ishakuya imba mapo 120 meters kaino kubika matanki nokubika ma solar pumps na panels bakwe rimwe ndo kwatwa malaiti watu apanga kwatu ma communal taps aba watu alivyola ngata pamage problem yamenshi kwa Baluba na nishwa sana.
Chilela Wombwe mayoral aspiring candidate Samson Chisambo has pledged to formulate a sustainable road maintenance system aimed at improving the road network if adopted and subsequently elected as mayor of the border town. Mr. Chisambo, a PF member, explained that constant maintenance of roads by the local authority would also increase the lifespan of roads in Chilela Wombwe. Speaking to Radio Jangalo News in Chilela Wombwe, Mr. Chisambo, who is also Chilela Wombwe constituency youth chairperson, also pointed out that the economic status of the border town is poised to be revamped once a good road infrastructure is maintained.
Which will be there to ensure that these drug-related roads are not there, because if you have a proper
or rather sustainable road maintenance system, it's very difficult to see dilapidated roads because maintenance will be there. And the lifespan of our roads becomes very good. And due to that, we remain committed. I shall remain committed to serve the people of Chilawombe once given an opportunity as a mayor of Chilawombe, that we ensure that we look into all those things.
Residents of Kitwe, Zindeke and Malenga townships have spoken on the need to put up proper road signs on the newly constructed road which links the two areas. The residents are also happy that government has constructed the road for easy access to the two areas. They, however, said there was need to put up speed humps to avoid any accidents. They also noted the lack of proper signposts. They also noted that lack of proper signposts pose a danger, especially to school-going children. Moving on our main news, multiplicity of unions in the education sector has worried Basic Education Teachers Union of Zambia Betu's Copperbelt Provincial Deputy Director Justin Mutambo. Mr. Mutambo regretted that multiplicity of unions has continued to weaken the voices of unions in the education sector. Featuring on Radio Chingelo's Face to Face with the Community program today, Mr. Mutambo also regretted that about 55,000 teachers are still unemployed in the country.
So the issue is about maybe the government not having the capacity to employ all the teachers at the go. Otherwise, the issue of shortages of teachers in the schools is very much real. So as unions, we are lobbying the government to at least find an avenue of making these people get employed. We cannot be crying for teachers in schools, and yet we have teachers that are not employed. So this is the issue that has really led us to be on our toes to negotiate with the government so that most of the teachers can be absorbed in the system. Like I was saying, I said 1,200 teachers are going to be employed. Then what about the rest of the teachers? Where are they going to go?
Speaking on the same program, Mine Workers Union of Zambia MOVE's President Joseph Chewe highlighted various successes his union has achieved in representing workers.
We have managed not to close Mopani, not to shut Mopani. I think that is also another milestone that the union has made. And we are very grateful that the government listened to us and fought with us. So those are some of the successes that we have made. The negotiations in the industry, I think, has been very good. We have delivered, and we continue to deliver. We may not do everything at one time, but it's a continuous process. We look at other things and reflect what have we spent for the workers in this period, and where we fix areas and where we did not score, and we start working on those issues.
On the same program, a Kitwe resident, Mavuto Mpanza, called on unions to be firm as they represent workers.
We are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Please keep it up. Never lose hope. Speak with one voice. And at the end, it is us who are benefiting. And so to please soldier on. Thank you for putting up a very good fight, more especially in the mine sector. But the tools, we've got a lot of expectations. We need total overall. And please, let's soldier on.
Nkana Member of Parliament Alexander Chiteme has handed over a 1x3 classroom block at Mitanta Combined School, which was built at a cost of 1.3 million kwacha. And speaking during the official handover ceremony yesterday, School Parent Teachers Association PTA chairperson Charles Nsansa said the infrastructure would assist, especially that it was currently upgraded to secondary school status. Mr. Nsamarada also hailed the Nkana lawmaker for the gesture and employed the members of the community to take care of the infrastructure. Speaking earlier, Kitwe District Education Board Secretary Debs Christopher Nyungela revealed that the MP has also donated 100 desks valued at 1,500 kwacha, as well as books.
There is no better gift that you give to somebody like education. We are witnessing the handover of a 1x3 classroom block. You don't know how many children are going to learn in that 1x3 classroom block. The leadership of you, Honorable Minister, must be appreciated by every leading Nkana constituency resident.
And Mr. Chiteme reiterated that he will continue to be of service to the community. Pope Francis has expressed his solidarity with the thousands of people displaced by volcanic eruptions in the island of St. Vincent in the southern Caribbean. The eruption of La Saufari volcano displaced close to 20,000 people and left the entire mainland of St. Vincent and Grenadines with limited access to clean water, according to the United Nations. Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Vatican Secretary of State, sent a telegram on the Pope's behalf expressing heartfelt solidarity with the many displaced persons forced to evacuate their homes and seek shelter from the effects of the disaster. According to the Catholic news agency, La Saufari, which has been dormant since 1979, has erupted multiple times since April 9, destroying homes and crops and covering entire villages with ash. So let's take a look at what we have in sports. Zesco United and Lusaka Dynamos are eyeing the 600 Kwachato prize money as they clash in the APSA Cup final this afternoon at Woodland Stadium in Lusaka. Both Zesco and Dynamos have expressed confidence ahead of this 15 hours kickoff final. Zesco are the defending champions of the APSA Cup. Meanwhile, in the FAS Super Division, Coach Beston Chambeshi begins his fourth stint as Nkana coach with a game against Indeni at Nkoloma Stadium in Kitwe. Both Nkana and Indeni are fighting to avoid relegation. This news broadcast comes to you in the community service of Radio Chingle with compliments of Mosmele and Go TV Broadcasting Zambia Limited, and now international news as monitored from the BBC. A malaria vaccine has proved to be 77% effective in early trials and could be a major breakthrough against the disease, says the University of Oxford team behind it. Malaria kills more than 400,000 people per year, mostly children in sub-Saharan Africa. But despite many vaccines being trialed over the years, this is the first to meet the required target. The researchers say this vaccine could have a major public health impact. The BBC has more with the rest of the stories.
The general who led the military coup in Myanmar in February has arrived in Indonesia to discuss the turmoil in his country with regional leaders. It's Min Aung Hlaing's first report since seizing power, the first coordinated international effort to ease the crisis that's engulfed Myanmar. From Jakarta, Jonathan Head sent this report.
The leaders and special envoys at this one-day meeting are greatly constrained by the ASEAN principles of consensus-based decision-making and non-interference in each other's domestic affairs. The invitation to the Burmese military leader, while failing to invite representatives of the parallel government formed by MPs from the elected parliament, has been widely condemned. Officials say this meeting gives no formal recognition to the military regime and that ASEAN will reach out to all parties to the conflict in time. Yet it's hard to see what bringing a coup leader who's been deaf to all international appeals for restraint will achieve.
Israeli aircraft have carried out overnight raids on the Gaza Strip in response to repeated barrages of rockets fired by Palestinian militants. More than 30 rockets were directed at towns and cities in southern Israel. Mark Ferret has more details.
Reports from the Gaza Strip say the sound of explosions continued throughout the night. In southern Israel, residents headed to air raid shelters. There have been no reports of casualties, but this was the most sustained exchange of fire between the two sides in many months. Earlier, the armed wing of Hamas, the Islamist movement governing Gaza, pledged support for Palestinians in Jerusalem. On Thursday night, more than 100 people were hurt during clashes in the city between Palestinians, far-right Jewish activists, and the police.
Doctors at a hospital in the Indian capital Delhi say 25 critically ill coronavirus patients have died because of a shortage of oxygen. The hospital's medical director said expected supplies were delayed and arrived too late. Several hospitals in the capital have issued desperate calls for oxygen as patient numbers swell.
We now end Radio Jungle main news by taking another look at our headlines. Father Edwin Mulandu appointed as Bishop of Mpika Diocese. Multiplicity of unions worried the twos. Alexander Chteme hands over a 1x3 classroom block. So friends of our Radio Jungle, for these and more stories, you can visit our Facebook page. Log on to Facebook and like the Radio Jungle page and link to radiojungle.radio12345.com. This has been Patrick Mpeta with the main news. Thank you very much for listening.
The main news was brought to you by Musmiling and GoTV Broadcasting Zambia Limited.